Greetings and welcome back to Big Bacon's Collection. Today we're going to be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Target exclusive Special Mission Cobra Island Major Bludd. Now, this was actually one of the first figures that apparently was somewhat easy to find at Target. I still didn't find one. And in fact, this was gifted to me by a very good man, Articulated Chad. If you have yet to actually check out his channel, he is the guru of all things 90s. His weekly live streams are very informative, very interactive. It's just a great time. And yeah, you get a chance, swing on over, check him out, and I'm sure you're going to love what you see. But back to my review. As always, we're going to start with the accessories. We're going to look at the figure, check his articulation, gear him up, and get him on the shelf. So let's get the worst of the worst out of the way first. He's got a backpack. Now, this is very similar in shape and design to the one the vintage figure came with. Has a couple of slots. This one has two, where the vintage and even the modern 4-inch one had three. But we'll get to the reasoning behind that in just a moment. These are actually the worst of the worst. He comes with rockets. The rockets have a simple peg at the end. Not badly shaped or badly detailed, but... And the purpose for the slots that exist on this is that you should be able to peg this thing in and have them hold in place. Now, that is the crux of the issue. Having them hold in place. Because these damn things do not like holding in place. But if you can get them to hold, it does kind of give the look of the old vintage style backpack. Next up, he's got a launcher. Launcher has a very simple looking design. Good detailing. Looks very much like his vintage style one. With the exception of what it can do. And yes, there is a peg on the side, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Now, you'll notice this big old hole here in the front of it. If I can get it to focus. The reason for that is if I take one of these out of here, I can actually peg it into the launcher. And it creates a very awkward looking long rocket launcher. Now the vintage style and even the modern 4-inch, it actually attached to the top of the barrel, which gave it a look more kind of like this. Now, they chose to go a different path and make it really long and awkward looking. Not a big fan of that. So I will just keep the rockets in here. And as for the launcher, well, you see on the side of this backpack here, there is a little peg hole. Just the one. Just on this side. And you can actually peg the launcher into it. So you could stow the entire rocket launch assembly on his backpack. Now, as with any good mercenary, you take trophies of your kills. This actually comes on the figure in the package, but it is removable. And it is a stack of dog tags. People who just were not good enough to keep up with him. Nice little accessory. We've got his helmet. His helmet has a very Germanic look to it. Very Eastern European. The color is great. The sculpt is great. I love this helmet. And then the greatest accessory of all is something that they added to this figure, which is a monstrous hand cannon looking sidearm. Very Western looking. Got the cylinder, got the trigger, got the older pistol style grip, the hammer, big long barrel on it. I mean, it looks great. There is a paint app right there on the cylinder. It's just nice. Let's take a look at the figure, shall we? Starting with the face sculpt. So this is the look of a old, pissed off vet. This is what I look at like before coffee. And then you come over to this side, and the detail on this scarring is just amazing. Now, the original one had a eye patch that, had the traditional string, and this one has more of a cybernetic cover than an eye patch. Got the snarl on there. Got a little bit of really high and tight, with just a streak of gray starting to form in it. I mean, this guy is... Look at the beard stubble that they've got on this guy. This is an amazing sculpt and great paint. Now, the body is reuse of the Cobra Trooper. But with this chest overlay on, and the new arm, you really cannot tell. Well, I mean, if you really look, you could tell, but I mean, it's not like it's obvious. Same thing with the legs. New paint, new details. Now, let's get on to those add-ons. Over here, we've got the Cobra emblem on the glove, like the Trooper. Got the forearm armor. Got this patching areas that are painted different color than the base. Same is true for the torso. And got a nice gunmetal gray on the knee pads that matches the forearm guard. The boots are very Western. I mean, you throw spurs on there and you would swear to God he was Western. Steel shod toes, nice shin armor. Come up here to the actual torso cover. Sculpted to look very much like the old vintage style. Got some silver paint apps on the buckles up here. Same on the back. Now, there was a debate for the longest time about whether his right arm was robotic or just had a cover on it. I think in this version, that clarifies this is a robotic arm. Have a piece of shoulder armor up here with the Mars Industries logo. They've shaped the forearm to match the forearm armor on this side. And the hands are very cyborg looking. And what's truly great is when you extend this arm all the way down. You extend this arm all the way down, they're not even. There is an asymmetry here that just fits really well. His belt, very old school Western. Replacement cylinders for the pistol, silver buckle, leather texturing all the way around it. Drop down Western style holster. I mean, that's beautiful, man. They didn't paint like the actual metal studs, the rivets where it would attach, but in the whole, it's still a nice looking piece. So articulation wise, his head is on a ball joint which is connected to a hinge. So looking up, once you get that hinge to activate, he looks way up, like flight ready up, even though he doesn't fly. Looking down, he buries that chin. Okay, got great rotation. Got some tilt, which when you're... Okay, not a great deal of tilt, but just enough to be, like, ticked off. The neck is articulated as well, so you can walk like an Egyptian. Arm hinges up to 90 degrees. Rotates all the way around. Rather nice butterfly joint in there, although this one is quite stiff. There we go. Look at the movement of that butterfly joint. Bicep cup for rotation. Double jointed elbow. because of the sculpt and the pad, you don't get full range, but you do get greater than 90. Left hand rotates, vertical hinge. Now, because this arm is different, we will check it as well. Now, this shoulder pad will lift up and get out of the way so that you can bring the arm as close to 90 as you can get it. Still can't get it quite all the way up, but still nice. Butterfly joint. Bicep cup for rotation. Double jointed elbow comes up all the way. Hand rotates, horizontal hinging on this hand. There is a waist joint for rotation. Provides a little bit of front and back and a little bit of tilt. There's an ab crunch, and because of how high this armor sets, you can actually use. He'll look down, lean down that far, lean up, lean back that far. Nice. Okay. Legs kick out this far, this far, this far. Sorry. Working that joint just a little bit. As you can see, it is a drop down joint hip. Leg kicks forward that far. There is a thigh cuff rotation. Double jointed pinned knee. Can't quite go all the way, but still a good deal of range in that. Boot cuff for rotation. Foot hinges back that far. Hinges forward that far. Front facing pin for rocker. So, now that we've checked the articulation, I want to get this guy geared up. So the backpack bags right into the back. So the dog tags around his neck. And if you get it around the back of the collar, it does look a little more natural. But doesn't want to stay there, so. And of course, neither does the rockets. I might have to blue tack those in or something. The helmet sits down on the head and shows the eyes really well through the gap. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, but part of me wants to just take it off because of how great this head sculpt is. And we're going to go ahead and have him holding this sumbitch. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, this backpack rockets suck. Okay, so there we go. Major Bludd. Trying to get his feet leveled. And there we have him. So what do you say we get him up on the shelf? Once again, thank you, Chad, for this. I love this figure probably more than most of the others up there. Okay. Stand by your man. Okay, so I need to readjust the foot just a little. There we go. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'll see y'all next time.